Charges have been filed against a Gadsden woman in the death of a JSU student who was hit while crossing the street last fall.
The heat has arrived in East Alabama. We have a heat advisory in effect for the next 24 hours and maybe beyond that. We'll have the complete hot details coming up.
Black Creek Parkway 7-on-7 was today in Gadsden. We visit with one of our local high school football teams coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
Jacksonville police this week arrested 19-year-old Olivia Lowry of Gadsden and charged her with criminally negligent homicide in the death of Leah Tarvin. Officers say that Tarvin was struck by Lowry's vehicle on November the 2nd while she was crossing Alabama 21 in front of Brewer Hall. The 22-year-old died of her injuries at UAB Hospital in Birmingham 2 days later. EAN Local News asked Jacksonville Police Chief Marcus Wood this afternoon why the investigation has taken so long.
So these types of investigations are very complex. There's a lot of information that goes into it. There's a lot of information that we wanted to gather as it pertains to cell phone data, how you process that, how you look into that and compare it with what happened. Also working with the Alabama law enforcement agency, Leah.
Wood said his department began a traffic homicide investigation with the help of state troopers from the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's Jacksonville post.
They provided technical assistance with their THI investigators. So having experts to be able to take that information, draw it out, map it out, and then put all of that information together to come to where we could use it as evidence and be able to gain or try to understand what that information was telling us. Takes a little bit of time, and we wanted to make sure we took our time, had the appropriate information, understood the information, and made sure that we just collected the information and gathered the facts.
Also involved in the investigation were the Calhoun-Cleburne Major Crimes Unit, the Oxford Police Department, and the JSU Police Department. Wood says Lowry made bond after her arrest and is scheduled to appear in Jacksonville Municipal Court on August 1st. The incident led to meetings of campus, city, and state officials to discuss the dangers of having students cross a busy highway with no traffic signal. And Wood says they have already made changes.
So right after that happened, we were able to meet with ALDOT and discuss some of the issues that we thought were there with that crosswalk. And when I say we, I mean the city of Jacksonville, officials from Jacksonville State University, and members with ALDOT. So I think if you go there, you can see that there has been an immediate change, as in the crosswalk that was in front of Brewer Hall is no longer there. The crosswalk that was in front of Merrill Hall is no longer there. And they have added a red light midway in between that area, and that's where the crosswalk is.
Anniston homeowners who need a little help fixing up their properties may be eligible for a grant of up to $2,500 to cover those costs. The Anniston Changers program is taking applications for those grants, which are coming from the City of Anniston Fund at the Community Foundation of Northeast Alabama. Anniston Public Affairs Officer Jackson Hodges explains how this program works.
You can apply for these home repairs. The application is entirely online. If you need any assistance completing the application, you can call the Community Foundation, speak to Ms. Leah Tarvin. She'll be able to walk you through the process. These grants can go up to $2,500 for minor emergency home repairs. You won't get an entire new roof with one of these grants, but you can build a wheelchair ramp. You can patch a hole in your roof. You can make sturdy again an area in your bathroom that may be warping or sagging. These can be used to fix emergency situations. To date, the Anniston Changers have done over 20 home repairs throughout the city of Anniston, helping so many people, so we are thankful for their work.
To be eligible for a grant, a person must own a home in the city limits of Anniston. They must also be over 60, have a mental or physical disability, or have a low income, and they must live in the house that they're repairing. Hodges says homeowners have several weeks to get those applications filed.
You can apply anytime from June 28th until July 30th. And around the 30th, about a week or so afterwards, we'll let everyone know who is awarded a grant, and then you will have the opportunity to select a contractor of your choosing, a licensed contractor, and we will provide the funds for the home repair. So if you know anyone that is in need of some emergency home repairs or assistance in our community, please let them know to visit the Community Foundation of Northeast Alabama's website. It's www.cfnea.org, or you can visit the City of Anniston's website or Facebook. Our website is www.annistonal.gov, and on Facebook we are the City of Anniston, Alabama, so find us there.
When we return, we'll tell you about a local attraction that will be open to the public for the first time in almost a year.
Well, my name's Mike Craven, and we recently purchased an open carport, metal carport from Waldrop Manufacturing. I have an extra car. We have a very small home, very small driveway, and I needed somewhere just to park another vehicle, just out of the weather. And I had been told by 2 or 3 friends that knew we had recently remodeled a home that Waldrops were the people that you need to go talk to. I was in that area one day and I thought, hey, I'll just stop in, and I did without calling, and greeted warmly, well taken care of. It was just, really the whole process was just good from day one.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
If you're looking for a nice shady trail for a short hike this weekend, the Weaver Cave Preserve will be open to the public Saturday and Sunday. The land has belonged to the Georgia-Alabama Land Trust since 2020, and they have restricted access to the cave complex for environmental preservation. Now the Land Trust is working on ways to open parts of the property back for public use, and one of the projects is a hiking trail that will eventually circle the entire property. Leslie Hansen of the Land Trust explains what the public will find when they visit the trail this weekend.
We actually just finished constructing our first 3/10 of a mile of trail. We also installed a new cedar bridge and a bench and a kiosk and some other signage. So this weekend they'll be able to come hike this new trail. They'll be able to come to the entrance of the caves. The cave itself will not be open this weekend, but we have an invitation for people to come into the cave on October 14th.
Hansen says the Weaver Cave Complex, which includes both Weaver Cave and the adjoining Lady Cave, is one of the largest preserves her group has in the 2 states it serves. The group decided to close the caves to the public 3 years ago in order to protect their most famous occupants.
The primary reason is because of the bats. We have about 12,000 gray bats that are here during the summer. We also have about 600 tricolor bats that live in here during the winter, as well as Indiana bat that we found last year, we confirmed was present. And that's a special thing. That's not something that's everywhere in the state. This is a very special resource for us to have in our backyard. So the primary reason is just to give them some quiet, to give them some space to just be quiet and rest.
If you want to get an inside view of the caves, the Land Trust is planning to offer cave tours on October 14th. They will be led by a group of cave experts from Gadsden, and registration will be open soon at galandtrust.org.
Alabama state troopers are focusing on water safety this week as East Alabama residents gear up for the 4th of July activities on area lakes and rivers. Senior Trooper Jared Brown, who patrols both Lake Wedowee and Logan Martin Lake, says people need to be careful when planning these activities, especially if alcohol is part of those plans.
Some lakes are still in dry counties and you cannot have alcohol on the boat transporting it. The ones that's not in dry counties, you can have alcohol on the boat. People can be drinking alcohol. Just make sure you have a designated operator that is appropriate operator and that can operate a vessel.
Brown says that operators do need to have a boating license in Alabama, and they are required to pass a test to get that license.
You can take the course online or you can take our in-person courses that we give on the off season. If you take it online, you're going to receive a certificate that you passed. You will have to take that to a license examiner and have them okay for your vessel license to be put onto your Alabama driver's license.
Please remember that Calhoun and Cleburne counties will be under an excessive heat watch over the weekend, and several local agencies are stepping in to help people who don't have air conditioning. The city of Anniston will open a public cooling station at the bridge at the Anniston First United Methodist Church from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day from Friday through Sunday. For more information on other community resources, you may contact the local United Way by dialing 211.
So Katie, have you noticed it keeps getting hotter?
I certainly have. At one point today, I just got in my car. It had been closed up for several hours, and the little digital thermometer said 108. It was too hot for me.
Well, Jon Holder has warned us that we would see temperatures like that in backyard thermometers.
Yes.
And Jon Holder standing by in the EAN Weather Center. Jon, how hot is it going to be?
Well, Mike and Katie, the temperatures are going to continue to increase by a couple of more degrees, and the heat index values will also increase as well. We will have the complete forecast details for tomorrow and the weekend coming up next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hot today across East Alabama, no question about that. Temperatures now climbing into the mid to upper 90s across East Alabama. 96 for the official high today. That's way above average for this time of year. Those nighttime lows, we'll talk about that. They're starting to climb up as well. Still below average for this time of year, but that is not going to last for long. Those nighttime lows are going to go from a little bit below average to above average over the next several nights. Record high temperature 103. I don't think we're going to see any record highs. It's going to be hot, but I don't think we'll break any records. The record low at 56 degrees. And again, you see the sunrise and sunset times basically remaining unchanged. Weather on your street tonight. We'll take out to New Liberty Road in Pleasant Valley. We've got a complex of thunderstorms up in Tennessee that could potentially drop into the northern part of the viewing area later on tonight. If that happens, just one or two storms possible. And we talked about those nighttime lows, 71 for the low tonight, and those temperatures are going to rise as well. Not only are daytime temperatures rising, but our nighttime temperatures as well out on New Liberty Road, out in the country in Pleasant Valley. For your Friday, trying to find you some cool places, at least cool sounding places. Waterford Place in Golden Springs. That is over in Edgefield Farms, beautiful neighborhood. There's going to be some intense heat over there. I know there's a lot of shady lanes over in Edgefield Farms. Waterford Place, one of those. But that's not going to stop the intense heat. 98 degrees. There is a chance that we could see a pop-up shower thunderstorm with the heating of the day tomorrow, but that chance of rain is only about 20% or less coming up on your Friday. For the weekend, high heat, a few storms in the afternoons. The big story will be the heat index, 105 to 110 throughout the weekend here across East Alabama. Great weekend to go to the lake out at Ohatchee, Willow Point Drive in Ohatchee. If you know some friends out there that will let you come and maybe dive off their dock into the Coosa River, call them. You're going to need that over the weekend. A lot of folks with this 4th of July holiday weekend coming up will be headed to the lake. Regardless of where you're going, just prepare for high heat and maybe a few storms in the afternoon. The 7-day forecast, which will include the Independence holiday weekend. It's a long weekend for a lot of folks. Again, 98 for the high tomorrow, 99 for the high on Saturday with about a 1 in 3 chance of a shower. Then things begin to gradually return back to normal as we get into the 4th of July holiday weekend. By Sunday, a 50-50 chance of afternoon storms and about 95 for the high. Then on Monday, those temperatures dropping a couple of more degrees, about 93 for the high. Again, a 50-50 chance of rain. There's a trade-off coming for Independence Day on the 4th of July on Tuesday. We are going to trade the heat in. Temperatures will be back to about where they should be for this time of year at 90 degrees. But in exchange for that, the rain chances are going to go up. High rain chances on Tuesday, a 70% chance of rain. So it's not going to be an all-day washout, but you may have to dodge a shower or thunderstorm out there while you're grilling out on the 4th of July. 50-50 chance of showers again on Wednesday, a 40% chance on Thursday, and highs again going from way above normal to actually back below normal in about a week here in East Alabama. Heat index, we've been talking a lot about that. Well, what is the heat index? How do you determine that? Well, that's relative humidity and temperature kind of combined here. Here's a great grid that shows that. For instance, today, our relative humidity here in Calhoun and Cleburne counties right at about 50%. Our air temperature was 96. That comes into a heat index value of about 108 out there this afternoon. So we're going to be in this 104 to about 109 frame here for the next 2 or 3 days across East Alabama. And as you see, that is in the orange. That is dangerous. That's not extreme danger yet, but we're close to that. But those are dangerous heat index values for those of you who are going to be involved in any outdoor activities. Outdoor activities at this time of year, we don't think about football, but high school football already getting in gear, braving the heat today with 7-on-7. Chase Robinson has all the details right now in sports. Chase?
Thanks, John. Gadsden City High School held their annual 7-on-7 today with several of our local teams in action. Coach Clint Smith and the Jacksonville Golden Eagles were on hand competing in the 7-on-7. The Golden Eagles are coming off of an 8-4 season in 2022, making it to the second round of the playoffs. Jacksonville has starting quarterback and Troy commit Jim Ogle back, and Coach Clint Smith was proud of what he saw from his offense today.
He makes some great passes. Our receivers are doing a really good job of catching the ball, and so we've played well up to this point. And the heat and all is of course as the day goes on, wears on you. But so far, I've been very pleased at how we've played.
The Golden Eagles were able to play 6 games against some really good competition today in the 7-on-7. Coach Smith talks about what he looks for when they have the chance to compete in events like this.
I think the biggest thing we get out of it is competition. Letting our guys come out here and compete against other people other than just ourselves. And, we like doing that. Plus, I think it does a lot for our corners, our defensive backs, receivers, timing, things like that. And so, anytime we can get a chance to come out and compete and they keep score, we want to try to win. And so, just being able to see how our kids react when things are going good, how they're reacting when things are going bad, going into the season, stuff like that really helps out. And so just really competing and getting after it.
The Jacksonville Golden Eagles will begin the 2023 season week 0 on the road as they take on the Boaz Pirates. The Vipers took Game 2 4-1 behind a complete game from Amber Pfizer, who struck out 9, and Mary Jacopo drove in all 4 runs for the Vipers. This was the second error-free game in the row for the Vipers. Game 3 of the series is tonight. That's it for sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
We're here online every weekday evening starting around 6:30 on either Facebook or YouTube. Just log into our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave us a comment while you're there.
And we'd like to thank the good folks here at Parker Memorial for allowing us to use their facilities to produce local news content for you. We'll see you back here Friday for your news on your schedule.